What's up, everyone? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and a couple of tickers. I'm going to break down what just happened during Tesla's earnings call, give you guys a very, very brief summary of it, and talk about how this could cause volatility in the markets for tomorrow. But let me just mention that I am not a financial planner. Make sure you take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link. You deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. You deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed 15 in total. And the offer ends very soon in just about 8 days from now. Anyways, for Tesla, we actually lost the support at 232. We're actually looking a little bit more bearish. There is a risk of this dipping even lower. And we could be looking for a move all the way down towards 220, if not 212, if we lose 225. So there's going to be 3 levels I'm watching for. As of right now, we're looking more bearish. We're seeing a little bit of a rug pull. We want to be very, very careful with Tesla right here. So what happened during Tesla's call? There were some things worth noting and some things that are not looking as great. So what's good is revenue is a nice beat, and a lot of the things that Tesla and Elon Musk said were very optimistic for the long term. Revenue was at 25.5 billion above expectations. However, EPS was a miss for Tesla at 52 cents per share. That's below the 62 cents per share expectation. So that's not the best of news. So when it comes to Tesla, I just want to mention that they were talking about a lot of things. They ended up delaying the Robotaxi event. They announced it's going to be on 10/10, so October 10th, 2024, a little bit less than 3 months from now. It's been delayed by over 2 months from when they first announced it. So that's very important. It was supposed to be in August. Now it's going to be in October. Not the best of news. As far as things go for them, they're actually talking about how their hardware is very, very important for the functions of Optimus, not to mention other pieces of growth. They have 20,000 hardware for AI computers, not to mention more H100 chips, which are continuing to be very, very bullish. On top of this, when it comes to the way things are looking, Musk mentioned that the Optimus robot is going to be in development, and by next year, it could be used in the Gigafactory, and then by 2026, we could be looking for high production for it. So he said that, and he said that many times that this is going to be a very, very bullish catalyst. Tesla is once again a company based off autonomy, and that those who are owning Tesla shares are betting on autonomy. If you don't believe in Tesla solving autonomy, then you should sell your Tesla shares, in the words of Elon Musk. So that's something else that's worth noting. Musk also said that the interventions per miles driven is actually continuing to go down. So people are actually interfering less with the Teslas, and they're able to actually drive more and more and more. So miles are going up, and interventions are slowing down, which is a good piece of news for them. And then when it comes to Dojo, their supercomputer that's actually taking all this data, which is kind of like producing this big uh, fleet for Teslas, as all the data is being used to help improve FSD and these other factors. It requires NVIDIA chips, which could be kind of difficult to find, which is why Tesla has to take matters into their own hands. And then there's a lot of interest in Tesla, at least for now. I just want to mention that for everyone, out of everything that was said, there were some things that led to uncertainty. So first off, the Robotaxi event was delayed for a little bit. That's not the best of news as that was announced. And then Elon Musk was also talking about the election. Basically, if President Trump were to win, for the short term, that could affect Tesla because it could affect tariffs and subsidies. But for the long term, Musk said that Tesla is going to be completely fine. When it comes to tariffs, right now Tesla is using the Shanghai Gigafactory to produce Model 3s shipped to Europe, and that's dependent on what happens with regulations, what happens with all these different tariffs, and they could make adjustments depending on how things go. They could be shipping more of their cars in from Giga Berlin to different parts of Europe if regulations change. They could stick to China. It all depends on the regulations. It depends on tariffs. That's something else that's worth noting. And then on top of all of that, I want to mention that outside of that, you also have like subsidies. Musk mentioned that yes, subsidies benefit Tesla, but the issue is that if there is an altercation to subsidies for the short term, and it could actually affect Tesla. For the short term, it's going to have a bigger effect on Tesla's competition. And for the long term, Tesla's going to be fine because Musk said that autonomy is going to be worth so much more. Musk also mentioned that eventually the automotive revenue is going to make up less than half of Tesla's revenue overall because autonomous driving is going to have a much bigger effect, and autonomy is going to be making up a much bigger part of their revenue, notably Optimus and what it's able to do. So he's very, very bullish on Optimus, very excited for its future on that. So that's something else that's worth noting. My key takeaways from this big event, this earnings call, would be the fact that there are going to be more expenditures for the next quarter for Tesla because they did decrease them a little bit. They have to make big investments into the new products and projects that they're working on, but they missed on EPS. They beat on revenue, which is like decent. So that's what's kind of like affecting us for the short term. Interest rates are still high, so of course it's affecting Tesla. And we'll have to see how numbers look, especially because Q3 tends to be more competitive. And then finally, just notes that FSD is making progress. The robotaxi has been delayed just a little bit, at least the unveiling of it. But it's not the end of the world, and much of what Tesla is saying is very, very bullish for the long term. I'm very excited, very, very excited for what they're going to be announcing. But for the short term, there are some bearish fears, especially when it comes to the election, especially when it comes to subsidies and tariffs. Not to mention the fact that EPS was a bit of a miss. So once again, guys, overall short term is a little bit more bearish. Long term is more bullish for Tesla. I want to make that very, very clear. I'm a big bull with what Tesla and Elon Musk are announcing, but the short term is seeing a little bit of a dip. So I'm not going to go over the full details. If you want the full details on Tesla SPY and the others, look at my previous video. That's where I kind of like broke down everything else. But just notes that for now, I'm just going to be very blunt and just say that Tesla's kind of selling off. I'll be looking at 225. If that breaks, there's 220, then 212 coming. It may continue to fall to this 200 EMA. It is looking more bearish right now. As a result, SPY is selling off, not just because of Tesla, but also because of Google and overall sentiment. AI is also seeing a big shift right now, so it's affecting Nvda. So we have this gap to fill on SPY. We're also rejecting right over here. I could be looking for this gap fill towards the 248. We're looking a little bit more bearish on the 4-hour. We're also selling off in the after hours, so just be careful on SPY. Nvidia is selling off right now just a little bit. It's down 1.4%. We could dip lower to this gap fill to 218, so just be careful with that. Bitcoin, we're going to be looking at our 50 EMA to see if we hold 65,383. If we hold this, we could rebound, but we could, if we lose this, we'll be dipping lower. The QQQ looking a little bit more bearish. We have a big gap to fill. I think we might be coming down to fill this gap towards 475. I'll be looking for a test of 473 or 200 EMA. If we lose that, we turn more bearish. If we hold this, we could try to rebound. But I do see a risk of us losing that support. Let me go over just a few more. Google announcing its earnings. It's actually dipping, barely holding our 200 EMA. Watch 179 as key support. If that fails this, we're going to be dipping lower. I'll be watching that. If it holds this, it could rebound, but this is favoring downside. As it's dipping, we're also seeing Microsoft potentially rejecting. If we lose 443.72, we'll be dipping all the way down to 439. Just be careful, guys. There's a risk of some downside. On Amazon, there's a bit of a rejection right here. We could be dipping to the imbalance towards 183.5. For others out there, like Coinbase, we're dipping a little bit. I'll be watching 252. If that fails us, we're going down to 250 and then 242 below that. So just be very, very mindful of that. But anyways, that's pretty much it for my video. I just want to make it very clear that the dollar has a nice inverse head and shoulders. If we break structure, if we break past 104.5, I'll be looking for this 200 EMA around 104.8 for a nice little push. That could lead to more downside, so just be very careful. There is a risk of some downside, so be very, very mindful of that. As far as Tesla goes, we're looking bearish, and Tesla and Google are being used as catalysts to kind of push the market lower, especially as Nvidia is dipping. Big tech is kind of leading the way down a bit, and that's also causing some downside. Let me just go over Aapl. Apple's also kind of weak right here. I'll be watching 222 to see if this holds or not. If we lose that, we turn bearish. So overall, the bears are getting an edge. The market will likely see downside tomorrow because of how Tesla's moving and because of how things ended up going. But don't forget, we have more earnings coming out for the next couple of weeks, and we'll see how things go from here. If you want more details for more tickers on like the IWM, Palantir, ARM, and the others, look at my second to last video. Go to my second to last video for more information about the markets. I'll give you guys an analysis with more tickers, so look for that. For now, I'm just going to end the video and kind of take a break now. I've been on the screen for like almost 12 straight hours. So I'll see you guys very soon on the next one. Thank you all so much for listening, and peace out.